office today saying it's time to begin the work of remaking America. The president said that today's economy calls for bold, swift action, not only to create jobs, but lay a new foundation of growth. But even as traders on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange paused to watch the inauguration, fears in the financial sector sent stocks plummeting today, as you just saw, over 300 points. Joining us now to talk about this and more is Chris Markowski, the Watchdog on Wall Street. All right, Chris, is this new administration going to mean good news for our economy? What do you think?
Well, we got to give him a break for today. Okay, got to give him a break for today. You know, granted, he's giving his speech, and I'm watching the market drop, precipitously over that period of time. We ended up down big, but a lot of it had to do with some of the banking sector and what was going on in Europe as well, and fears of nationalizing banks. But the reality is nobody knows what to make of the stimulus package, what's going to happen, what's next, what's going to happen with taxes. And this type of uncertainty, this cloud that's underneath the market, is going to linger there until some decisions are actually made.
Now, you've been very vocal on your radio show about the stimulus package. Yes. From what you know, and I guess you're saying we don't know a whole lot about it, what's negative about it? What are the negatives so far?
Well, last week, Nancy Pelosi put out her stimulus package, and it has, I'm looking through this document, $10 billion for this, $20 billion for this, $30 billion for this, and I'm saying, well, how do you come up with these numbers? What is this actually for? And you dig a little bit deeper, and it's going to a mob museum in Nevada, and we've got water slides in Miami, and all these various different projects all over the place. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, we got ourselves into trouble by borrowing too much money, by buying things we could not afford in the first place. Now, is the government going to do the same thing? News came out today that they said a quarter of the stimulus package, a quarter, is not going to be spent until 2011. What kind of stimulus is that?
Well, what you're saying there is there sounds like there's a lot more pork in this plan.
Pork? Well, prosciutto. There's a high-end pork.
Yeah. All right, we've got a question here. It came in from one of our Twitter followers. Let's get to that right now. It's Kelly Carlton, and she asks, how about enacting some kind of permanent relief from the alternative minimum tax? Maybe, Chris, you have to explain what the alternative minimum tax is, and should that be something the president and his team should look at?
The AMT, for lack of a better phrase, is a trap. It was a trap that was designed way back when, late 1960s, early 1970s, to ensnare people. Basically, they were rich back at that point in time, and it was never indexed for inflation. Now it gets everybody. And Kelly, it's a great question, and quite honestly, I think that's one of the first things that the administration needs to do is tackle the tax code. We're just dealing with right now the Treasury Secretary, well, the supposed incoming Treasury Secretary, Timothy Geithner, can't do his taxes correctly. And he's the Treasury Secretary. He's having a difficult time doing it. We got a tax code that's over 3 million words wrong. How are we peasants supposed to figure out this tax code if the Treasury Secretary can't do it?
It's a little difficult, yeah, something you're supposed to you have to do with the government, and yet it's beyond most of us, supposedly. You have a point there. All right, Chris Markowski.